this week, what we want today. Okay. So we gotta reset. We gotta reinvent ourselves. I think especially some of the other offices, like, they're starting to count us out. And August is the office competition, and that's what I want to win more than anything, guys. So we gotta reestablish ourselves as the top office, and we gotta go hard and finish strong. Okay. So we're gonna move areas today. We're gonna go up north, like Liberty, Kearney, Excelsior Springs. So we'll have some fresh food to go knock. But yeah, let's go over numbers today and let's do a big reset and let's hit 100 this week. Let's give Ron his clap though. Ron, what do you get on Saturday? 2 spot.
Alright, so we're gonna go this week, right? What do you want this week?
I need 12 this week.
12.
And today I need to start off with 2.
Let's go. Okay. Alright. Kyle, last week today. Or no, what do you want this week and today?
10-2.
10-2.
10-4.
What the f is wrong with this? Ronald wants how many this week?
8.
10. You want 2 today? Mike.
Yeah, let's go 10-2.
Lamont.
Yeah.
What? Oh, okay. That's not a number. Corey.
8.
10-2. Zach, I want 10-2. Caleb.
6.
10. He wants 3.
10.
Now we're talking.
I want 3 today.
Let's go.
Oh, there we go.
Alex, you're catching on.
Give me 4.
Good 10-2.
Let's go. 10. Come on, 10.
We're not gonna do any of what we're talking about, having these low ass numbers. So, Sebastian.
10-2.
10.
He's got the idea.
Cam.
10-2.
Yeah!
Colton.
10-2.
Matt.
10-2.
10-2. Matt. Or Mike.
11-3.
11-3.
Where's Tyler? Where is he?
Oh, he's about to get durfed. Where's he at? Yeah.
10-2.
He's out of town.
In his bed. He's down. Don't look around.
12-3. Brain.
It's 10-2.
10-2. Got it.
Brian
Ronnie.
Wood. 10 this week. Come on.
10-2. Got it.
Who's gonna carry the boat?
Johnny.
I guess I have no choice. 10-2.
What a terrible thing to
This is your last week.
You're going out.
This is your last
Wait,
week.
Johnny, this is
You're
your
gonna call
last
out the
week.
bank, dude.
You're going out with 10.
Hey, come on, let's go.
Robbie. 10-2. Wayne.
10-2.
Let's go. Chase.
10-2.
Stick to that. Last
Just put another one.
Cut another one, 10-2. Alright, so by my calculations, when you do this 27 times, I'm no mathematician, but what is that, 27, 270 accounts?
My 450 accounts.
275.
So we'll be at 1,500 whenever Chetix gets here on Sunday. So if everybody does this, we'll be at 1,500 accounts by the time Chetix gets here.
About 1,000.
And that's just,
I'd like
$2,000. Alright,
Why
got
don't we just do this every week?
That's what I'm saying. I don't know why I'm doing these weak ass goals. Talking about I want 3 this week.
I didn't sales one numbers last week, so that was not right.
Well, here, I got a sales rule for us.
Yeah.
It's a new sales rule.
Oh, I got one.
Well, I got a better one.
It has to do with $100.
There you go. Alright.
And credit scores of 680.
Burning Bush. Burning Bush.
They gotta have a total of 700 credits saved up.
I got 350 credit, you got 350 credit.
That's 700 together, we can get it. We can get it.
Alright.
No way.
So, this is for like the financing stuff. So, any account that is subprime, you'll have 100 deducted off your commission. So if it's super prime or prime merchant, if it's any of these, then it's just regular commission. You know, you have like your $600 if you charge a full activation. So you get like your 300 commission, your $100 finance bonus. If it's a subprime, you don't get the $100 finance bonus because ADT like raised their rates, and so this is just yeah, a way that our company doesn't go out of business. So these are good things. I know it's sometimes not the
Are
most.
you looking at interest rates there, or?
Yeah, you guys
So
don't have
this,
to worry about
this is what will come out. So starting today, we need to deduct $100 off a subprime loan. So if you did a subprime and you charge your 6 activation, you'd still get your 6 activation. It'd be $500 up front instead of $600 up front.
That's
It'll tell. Go ahead, Corey.
I did a finance deal this morning, and it said I had got some deducted from like the sub line or whatever.
Yeah.
That should
So
say
right here, it's gonna say when you do it. It'll say tier, subprime, or super prime. What was that one?
Super
That's
If
great.
it says subprime, you have 100
Super
that they put out.
The sub, the prime, and super.
Yeah.
So kind of,
It really doesn't affect anything. Just know, like, if your commission's.
it's just like if you like did a 600 credit and you charge a 199, you only get like 100 of the one. You get 100.
It doesn't
It's
matter.
like you don't
It's
get
do
the
the same
finance
thing.
bonus anymore.
Yeah,
they
But you still get low.
There you go.
It don't matter. It's $100 less than this. Just sell your damn accounts. Alright.
The Evo was always paying interest, but you don't have to worry about
Yeah,
that.
I don't want to go over it. It doesn't matter. Just sell your accounts. Alright. Grady, you got the thought.
So run
It's
two
off the
credits.
dome.
What the thought
That
is.
we are greatness, and everyone keep pushing when you're on those doors, and then you'll be great one day.
We're greatness. We're greatness.
And then so, okay, synchrony, yeah, you wouldn't have, if it passed for synchrony, then you get the full deal. So try synchrony.
There's no $100 deduction.
So the sales rule is to run both the credits. Run mom and dad's credit. Don't just run.
Yeah, so there's no such thing as a
I'll try it out if I do a finance and see like if I run them, like if they, like how quickly you can find out if it's a prime or subprime. You have to go all the way before you're about to submit manual pay. So I wonder if like you can find out quick.
Yeah,
You
if
can
it
just
says-
scroll over after.
Yeah, I think so.
If it says 725, you're
I
probably.
don't care.
It's
If it says
725.
pass, I don't care if it's $500 or it's $600. You get paid. So,
I'm
still gonna send
yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Still gonna send it, but.
Alright, Alex, you got thanks.
So I'm thankful for probably like all the good times we've had out here, like
Oh yeah.
memories we've made out here. We've obviously been out here like 3 or 4 months now, so all the good times we've had out here. So.
Share memories, Alex.
Like gladiator games, you know, like.
Glad you're
It's like
You're gonna love the meeting today, man. I have a great meeting for
I'm
you.
thankful for
I
pain
know, we're gonna find out.
and suffering.
Alright.
Yeah.
Cooper got the pitch.
Cool. Get those cheeks up here. Those cheeks up here.
Bluetooth tip.
Wow.
Keith Custody.
Hey, give me it, bro. I'm not illiterate, bro.
Hey, what's up, man? Hey man, thanks for the shade. I've been slow cooking out here, man. I'm turning in a brisket.
ADT?
Yes, sir.
Man, I don't think I'd be interested.
Oh, that's fine, man. My job's a little different. I set up model homes for these guys. I love your azaleas here. Do you guys do all the landscaping here yourselves?
The wife.
She does it all?
Yeah.
It's super nice, man. She does a good job on the yard, too. You got her out here on the weekends with the lawnmower, or is that you?
I'm pretty sold, man. What you doing on my porch?
What my job is, like I said, I set up model homes for ADT, so my job is I scout out the nice houses in the neighborhood like yours. What we want to do, we want to get a sign out in your yard. That way when your neighbors drive through the street, they see that all the nice houses use ADT, ADT. It's really good branding for us. And so when you help us with that sign in the yard, we'll go ahead and we'll pay for a camera to go in the house. Does that make sense?
Yeah, you can put the sign up, yeah.
Oh, perfect. Okay, that's awesome, man. So what we get to do, we get to come in and we get to pay for a camera to go in the house. A lot of your neighbors, just some of the craziness going on, but IHOP Church. You heard about that? Oh man, they are super. You ever heard about that? How long you been out here?
I've been around in like 15 years. I've never
Really?
heard of
They own like 40% of the real estate in the area, man. They're a little wacky. They measure people's houses at night.
You been
No, your
neighborhood?
your neighbors just tell us about it. It's crazy. And so a lot of them getting cameras just to keep an eye on stuff. A lot of them getting Rings and these outdoor cameras. This is the Google doorbell.
I actually been looking into the Ring. My wife bought
Oh,
a lot
awesome.
of packages.
Yeah. Oh, she gets like a lot of stuff off Amazon.
Yeah.
Okay, well this would be perfect.
I'm
So,
usually the one paying for it
oh, usually the one paying for it. What do you do with yourself? You know what I mean?
though. Construction.
Construction.
You should get into it, man. It's a good industry.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know if I have the muscle mass for that, man. I'm kind of like I'm kind of a beanpole.
You in the gym?
Huh?
You in the gym, man?
I gotta get back in the gym. I was gonna go this morning, and then my housemate was saying something about a tornado. I just went back to bed.
You know what that is, man?
Huh?
Excuses.
The excuses, you're right, man. Can't be doing that.
Oh yeah, but what you showing me, man? What's
So yeah, your wife can talk through it just like this. You can look at it too while you're at work. I'm sure you're a busy guy. You're probably doing 40, 50 hours a week construction. So this will let you keep an eye on her and the packages in the house when you're not here. And so is this a wired doorbell?
It doesn't work. So.
Oh, it doesn't work? That's all right. We'll give you this little doodad. This is a Google Mini. And so now you have a working doorbell again. And so when people press the Google doorbell, it will chime through your Mini. The other thing we do as well, we pay for a couple sensors to go inside of the house. We get your doors and windows protected. So if someone...
I don't really want to pay for anything, man.
Oh yeah, well that's the
I
best...
just would want to
Yeah, that's the...
cameras, see the house.
That's the best part, is that we would pay for everything. You just need to keep the sign out for us in the yard. You just need to qualify, and then we would cover everything, all the upfronts. And so we usually start with the doors. We get some sensors on your front door. Most houses have 3 doors, like front door, back door, side door. Is it
Just-
the same?
just-
Just 2. And that back door is that French, is that sliding it? Let's take a look at that real quick. It just
Skip on it.
oh, yeah, so
Yay. B's and C's. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 times you said man. So cut that out of your vocab straight away with a custody. Even if it's in ghetto hood, I would just cut it out. It's kind of the same thing like when I saw Lamont doing his thing, like it was super distracting when I was watching him pitch, and I think we just fall into these habits. So yeah, man, said it like 15 times, 11 times, whatever it was, is a lot. And I would just, if you're chatting with a customer, even if they're super chill, I would just try and get their first name, and that personalizes it way more. So yeah, hey, I've been hoping to catch you. What was your name? I'm Nate. Oh, great to meet you, Keith. Well, Keith, what we're doing, and then instead of saying man, you can say Keith, or Mr. Keith, sir, something like that. I do think that it does make a bit of a difference, because if they're brushing you off, they kind of see you as a kid, rather than just like a professional. Pros, let's go to pros. So Cooper does a lot of things really, really well, and he has his own style of doing it, which is really good. I think Cooper probably has some of the most relational customers, probably out of anyone in the room, and that's evident in the way he pitches. He takes his time with people, he really just tries to get to know them a bit, but you saw there was a little bit of that awkwardness when he was just asking kind of arbitrary questions before he would set his hook in. So I think for someone that's a chatterbox, Cooper's going to sell them every time. For someone that's a bit more like to the point or a bull, when he was asking kind of that question about the garden or whatever, he left himself open for a door slam. He hadn't quite got his hook in yet about, okay, we're paying for some homes to advertise for us. But he did shake him up real quick. He said, yeah, who does your A-list? And Keith was like, my wife, what do you want? And so he caught him off guard there, which is really good. Another thing Cooper does really well, and I know he does this for pretty much every single house he pitches, is he makes the pitch specific to their home. So he compliments the home, he talks about the home. His whole like model homes, advertising homes pitch is like, he does it really well, where he talks about features on the house, the way the cameras would work on the house, which is really good. Weak word, what we want to do with your house is put out the sun. I usually just say like what we are doing for homes like yours, rather than kind of like what we want to do here, because then like, well, I don't want to do that. And it's like, well, what we are doing with or without you. Name dropping crime kind of like came, I would say like two minutes in, rather than kind of a little bit earlier to establish your credibility. I thought you brought up an objection there with the ring, so you brought up like, hey, your neighbors have been looking at the ring, and then straight away he said, yeah, I've been looking at the ring. So you brought up an objection there. I don't think you really found his hot button, which was fine. Like you just assumed that it was going to be cameras. And then there was a couple times where you overcomplicated it. Like you're like, oh yeah, the Google Mini, oh we can fix this and do the Google Mini or whatever. And it's like, well, that doesn't matter. Like don't talk about Google Minis and doorbells and wiring. Just get the hot button and be like, yeah, let me show you how it works real quick. It's hot as balls out here. Do you mind if I sit down and walk in the house? And then like be like, oh, perfect. Yeah, you don't have. Well, this is how this would work, and it would go here. And then you can paint your picture really well, which you're good at, but do that inside the home because you're just bringing up objections. She's like, well, what if the Google Mini doesn't work? What if it's out of charge? And how does the Google Mini work with my phone? And it's like, forget the motherfucking Google Mini. Like, don't worry about that. We would pay for everything. I think we're all saying this. We cover the upfronts. Say that all together. We cover the upfronts. Money. So, because that, if you say we cover everything, then when you're like, yeah, there's an equipment payment, it's like, well, this is bullshit. You told me that you're paying for everything. And then you have to do regular ADT, and if they're not the homeowner, and blah, 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 blah. And then I would actually be really interested to see how you actually transition. I know that Cooper takes his time to transition, like he'll build a lot more rapport than like what you pitch in here, which is totally fine. But what do you normally do to transition?
Usually they'll invite you inside,
Yeah.
or I'll say something like, I need you have a table, I can set this down. My boss makes me carry. I'm just gonna buy it, and I look around. I'm usually, oh yeah, I can sit down.
Yeah. I think that transition works really well for you. Do you do walkthroughs when you get in the house? Mm-hmm. Okay, good. Kyle, you had something?
Yeah. When he was like, oh well, I don't really want to pay for anything. Usually, I would use like a pullback. We'll say, well, yeah, ADT has to accept. ADT, we have to accept your application first, or just something as like a pullback, and then I have a sheet. It's called "Can we pay?" questions, and then what I'll do is ask them questions, and basically, when you ask them the series of questions, they end up pretty much selling themselves on like the idea.
Very nice.
So I'll be like, well, yeah, first ADT, we have to accept your application, or we have to make sure you're a good fit for our program. What we do is just ask you a series of questions to make sure that the investment's worth it for us.
Nice.
And I have a list of questions. I can send it out to everybody.
Yeah, do that. So that's your pullback where you're like, oh yeah, hey, yeah, I don't want to pay for anything. It's like, oh yeah, well, like I said, we are covering it, but we just want to make sure we can actually do that first so you qualify for our program. We have a couple questions we just run you through. If that does work out, I can show you, but let me just make sure I'm not over-promising. And then just ask them the questions.
Exactly, yeah.
Nice.
So real quick, everyone needs to go into their email and fill out the DocuSign that they got sent to them from Patika.
But yeah, very personal, really good. Don't overcomplicate it.
Like right now, everyone needs to do it right now.
And sync your hook in.
Like Robbie, get your phone out. Like Caleb, get your phone out.
You guys sent our email?
Yes.
Yeah, one thing there, Coops, while we're doing this, I think when you brought up the price objection, you were like trying to overtalk him. And I think sometimes when we're trying to like counter what someone's saying, sort of like a perfect parry, you don't want to try to parry it too soon. I think like you have to wait for them to fully get out what they're saying, then you can be like, oh hey.
Did anyone get that?
No, I
haven't.
I haven't gotten it.
Not yet.
No one said they got that email.
Patrick Murphy, Dr.
Yeah.
I got it.
Wayne got it. Wayne got it.
Of course.
Wait, who's it from?
Patrick Murphy.
You didn't get a DocuSign?
No, Wayne.
Negative, I got it.
What is it? What was the title of yours, Wayne?
Patrick Murphy, Dr.
Yeah.